Hello, Namaskar. Welcome to Lok Talks. Dear friends, today I'll be talking to you about one very important emotion which we every day on day-to-day basis we keep facing, and that is anger. We all know that we should not become angry, but even then we become angry. Amongst all such things which we are aware, we know it very well, we are not supposed to do it. We know it very well that keeping and becoming angry is like having a burning charcoal in our own hands. We try to throw that burning charcoal on somebody else, but the other person may escape out of the effects of the burning charcoal of your anger. But you are definitely not going to be spared of those effects of anger because you are the one holding that in your own hands. So you are definitely going to burn your hand because that burning charcoal is not of anger, is not going to spare you. So this is the very important thing which we all need to learn. That's why I'm going to talk about it today. Well, on this anger management, I have divided this particular topic in 4 different aspects of it. In this video, I'll be talking today on the physical effects of anger. The next part is going to be the social effects, emotional effects. What are the social dimensions of anger and why we need to manage it, right? And the next part is going to be after the physical, social, emotional, the next part is going to be spiritual part of it, right? So we will be discussing all this anger under these health dimensions, right? As we know, health has got 4 dimensions, right? Physical, mental, social, spiritual. So this particular topic I'll be dealing in different videos in each of these health dimensions, right? Namaskar. Welcome to Lok Talks. Thank you very much for subscribing to this channel for professional medical guidance, spirituality and meditation and life coaching. Here is my WhatsApp number. Do connect me in person if you have any question. Thank you. So today I'll be talking about 7 ways the anger is damaging your physical health. People who are habitually becoming angry also report physically more often sick than their peaceful counterparts. Sometimes anger can be good for you. What are those examples? Like if you are not able to wake up early in the morning, you need to fight with your own self and try to make it that next time, and you maintain that time punctuality. If you are frequently getting late, you need to fight with your own self and make sure that you are. So it is not that always it should be for a betterment of your own life, not for anything trying to correct others, trying to control others, trying to dominate others. That's not the purpose of anger at all. Anger can only be good if your own life is getting better. But when you try to correct others, when you try to judge others, when you try to express in a negative manner, expressing any kind of dissatisfaction in bad words, that is not going to correct other person. The other person's ego will get hurted and you will land up in a worst fight even. Never do that. Acceptance is very much fundamental quality, right? We will talk to you little later about it. Of course, these 4 dimensions, when you will listen to all these videos, you will definitely be much more wiser as far as anger management is concerned, right? In fact, anger may help some people think more rationally. However, unhealthy episodes of anger, if it becomes more frequent or when you hold it within it for longer periods of time, turn it inwards or explode in rage, can wreak havoc on your body. If you are prone to losing your temper, here are 7 important damaging effects. Angry outburst puts your hurt at a greater risk. Most physically damaging is anger's effect on your cardiac health. In the 2 hours after an angry outburst, the chances of having heart attack doubles. And imagine how damaging it is. In fact, one study found that people with anger proneness as a personality trait were at twice the risk of coronary heart disease as compared to their peers. To protect your ticker, identify and address your feelings before you lose your control. Number 2, stroke. The incidence of stroke increases. Bleeding within the brain during the first 2 hours after an angry bout. After an angry outburst, one can land up with a stroke. You must have seen in many movies also. For people with an aneurysm in one of the brain's arteries, there was a 6 times higher risk of rupturing this aneurysm following an angry outburst. Well, there is some good news too. You can learn to control those angry explosions. To move into positive coping, you need to first identify what's your trigger. What triggers your anger, right? And then figure out how to change your response. Reaction is angry, and when you respond, you are definitely able to control yourself. Instead of losing your temper, do some deep breathing exercises. Use assertive communication skills. You might even need to change your environment by getting up and walking away. So when you change your environment, you walk out, do deep breathing exercises, it definitely helps. It oxygenates your whole system. Coming to the third effect, your immunity system. Immunity gets weakened. Your immune system becomes weakened if you are mad all the time. You are just find yourself feeling sick more often. In one of the studies in Harvard University, scientists have found that in healthy people, simply recalling an angry experience from their past caused a 6-hour dip in the levels of their antibody immunoglobulin levels. The antibody immunoglobulin levels A will get dropped, and these are the cells of the first line of defense against infection. If you are someone who is habitually becoming angry, protect your immune system by turning a few effective coping strategies. Those can be assertive communication, effective problem solving attitude, using humor, or restructuring your thoughts to get away from that black and white, all or nothing thinking. Those are the good ways to cope up. You must have seen there are people who have extremes of thoughts. Either they think good or they think bad. They think black or they think white. They cannot imagine anything in gray in between, right? What is most colorful thing in this world? There are different variations of people are there. Everybody will have their own thought process. People are going to help you. People are work along with you. People might compete with you. Different people will have different working attitudes, different approaches to the problem. You cannot teach them every time. You can just cope up with them. You can manage with them. You can have problem solving attitude that is going to make you more calmer, right? So your immunity has to be taken care of, and no wonder in this COVID era, every one of us has learned a lot about our immune system, right? So anger is to be managed. Anger has to be avoided, has to be ignored, has to be it's thing where you need to learn how to practice to become calmer is definitely going to help you out. Because whatever one might have been consuming, definitely if you have a frequent habituated angry outburst, you are doing it, then definitely your immune system is going to get compromised. Next, the fourth effect. The anger problems can make your anxiety worse. If you are a warrior, it's important to note that anxiety and anger can go hand in hand. In a 2012 published study in the Journal of Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, researchers have found that anger can exaggerate the symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder, a condition characterized by an excessively uncontrolled worry that interferes with a person's daily life. Not only were the higher levels of anger found in people with these kind of people, but hostility along with internalized unexpressed anger had contributed greatly to the severity of their GAD symptoms. Right. So coming to the next, after the anxiety disorders, coming to the next, that is fifth, anger is also linked to depression. Numerous studies have linked depression with aggression and anger outburst, especially in men. In depression, passive anger, where you ruminate about it but never take action, and it's not very uncommon. His number one piece of advice, Professor Akin, I'm talking about, his number one piece of advice for someone struggling with depression mixed with anger is to get busy and stop thinking so much. Any activity which fully absorbs you is good cure for anger, such as playing golf, biking, any such activities. These tend to fill out our minds completely and pull our focus towards the present moment, and there is just no room left for anger to steer when you got that going. Sixth effect is hostility can hurt your lungs. You still could be hurting your lungs if you are perpetually angry. Angry, hostile person will have poor lung capacity. A group of Harvard University scientists studied 670 men over a period of 8 years using a hostility scale scoring method to measure anger levels and assessed any changes in the men's lung function. The men with highest hostility ratings had significantly worse lung capacity, which increased their risk of respiratory problems. The researchers theorized that an uptick in the stress hormones, which are associated with feelings of anger, creates inflammation in the airways. Right? So that's a very important effect, damaging effect on our body we should be aware about. The seventh physical effect of anger is anger can shorten your lifespan. It is really true that happy people live longer. Stress is very tightly linked to general health. If you are stressed and angry, you will shorten your lifespan, and this has been observed and quoted by studies by Professor Stad, who is a psychiatrist and professor of psychology. University of Michigan study done over 17 years long period found that couples who hold in their anger have a shorter lifespan than those who readily say when they are mad. If you are not someone who is comfortable showing negative emotions, then work with a therapist or practice on your own to be more expressive. Let's start a little bit about constructive anger. What is constructive anger? The kind where you speak up directly to the person you are angry with and deal with the frustration in a problem solving manner. And this kind of constructive anger is not associated with heart disease and is actually very normal and a healthy emotion. So constructive anger, yes, but definitely not to become angry. Realize your ego, not to become angry. Realize the fact that by becoming angry, you are going to hurt other person's ego, and the cycle keeps going. You become angry, the other person becomes angry, and you are not now in a problem solving mode. So dear friends, let me summarize what all I have said so far. What are the 7 reasons why you need to calm down yourself? As we all know that it is your decision not to become angry, or it is your decision to become angry. Invariably what happens is we try and we tend to blame others, that X did so, Y did this, that is why I became angry. We tend to blame people, we tend to blame situations for accepting it that I will not become angry in such situations. One can always choose not to become angry. These 7 simple reasons should be enough for you to choose now onwards not to become ever angry. Summarizing what all 7 points I have said: first, your hurt, your cardiac problems, you are making more yourself to develop cardiac problems. Number 2, stroke. The incidence of stroke increases. Your arteries in your brain become so much strained out, may develop aneurysms. If aneurysms are already there, which you might not be aware of, can become ruptured, and suddenly you can become a patient of a stroke, become paralyzed, and becomes more serious a situation, and you can become completely disabled. Third is reduced body immunity. Fourth is anxiety. Your generalized anxiety disorders can become flared up if you are more angry, lose temper more frequently. Fifth is depression, right? Depression, you become more prone, because every time you become angry, you are definitely going to become more depressed, right? Sixth is the lung function. The lung capacities becomes reduced. You are developing a lot of the reduced humidity in your lungs and respiratory system, which makes you more prone to develop more infections, and your respiratory system becomes more vulnerable to develop more frequent respiratory disorders and respiratory infections. And last but not the least, because of all the above enumerated reasons, your lifespan can get reduced. So you can understand the magnitude and the gravity of problem with one simple emotion controlling of your anger. Choosing not to become angry can definitely make you not only a better person, can give you a better quality of life, better quality and better quantity of life. With these words, I end my video today. Thank you very much. All the best. Hope you like it. Make sure that you are sharing with all your friends and relatives who have habit of becoming angry and who have an attitude of blaming others, blaming situations. Do forward it to them. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you sometime in next video. Make sure to hit on the thumbs up, share it with your friends and relatives, and do subscribe Lokesh channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon.